What's going on, guys? My name's Theoatrix, and today I'm going to be explaining everything you need to know about spicy stews in old school RuneScape, and I'll also be including the best ways to get them. Spicy stews are a way to give a really big temporary skill boost in pretty much every skill in the game, and to be able to get them in the first place, you need to complete the Freeing Evil Dave part of the Recipe for Disaster quest. Firstly, to make a spicy stew, you need to use the spices that you get from killing hell rats, and you use those on a regular stew in a bowl. If you're a regular player, you can easily just buy the stews off the Grand Exchange in the first place, but if you're an Iron Man, you have a few options to get a stew. Firstly, you can make one yourself with a bowl of water, a raw potato, and a cooked meat or a cooked chicken. Iron Man can also buy stews outright from the Warriors Guild for 28 coins each, and another great option is to buy them from the Sears Village bar, and the bartender sells them for 20 coins each. When you're collecting spices, which I'll explain how to do in a moment, you can get 4 different types. So there's brown, red, yellow, and orange. They all boost different types of skills, and I'm going to put the skills that they boost on the screen right now. Depending on the number of spice you put into the stew, the skill boost actually changes. So let's say I have 3 doses of brown spice and I use all 3 on one stew, and then eating the stew gives a chance of boosting its corresponding stats to its color by -5 to +5, so it can be any number in that range. 2 doses can go from -3 to +3, and 1 dose has a range of -1 to +1. So judging from that, 1 dose is pretty much pointless. I was just trying to work out the probabilities of getting a specific boost from drinking a stew, but I found that the RuneScape wiki actually has them all listed on the site. It can be a bit tricky to understand, so I'm going to make it a little bit simpler for you to understand. Instead of talking about the probability of each kind of boost occurring, I'm going to talk about cumulative probabilities, and that is the overall chance of getting a specific boost, including all the possible chances of what can happen. If you have a 1 spice dose, there's basically a 70% chance that your boost will be 0 or less, so -1 or 0, and then there's a 30% chance of a +1 boost. For 2 doses, there's a 13% chance for a +3 boost, and then a 61% chance that it will be 0 or less. Then for 3 doses, there's an 8% chance that it's +5, and then a 60% chance of getting it 0 or below. So it is kind of hard to get a +5 boost out of a 3-dose stew. Now I'm going to explain how to get spices, and there's actually 2 ways. To get spices in the first place, you need to have a cat or a kitten. I highly recommend getting a cat or a wily cat, because wily cats actually have a better chance of catching rats in the first place. You can buy a kitten from Gertrude for 100 coins, and then you have to wait a few hours for it to grow to a full cat if you want it to be a full cat, but it still works with kittens. But trust me, a kitten is a lot worse than a regular cat for getting stews. Once you have a cat, you need to head over to the house in Edgeville and go down to the basement down the ladder, and that is where the hell rats roam. Your first option, which I don't really recommend doing, first because you get an absolutely random spice, and secondly, it's just kind of a crappy method to do. The method I'm talking about is just standing in the basement with your cat and getting the cat to chase vermin, so chase the rats. And if you have a kitten, there's actually a 1 in 20 chance that it'll catch 1 rat and get a spice. But when you have a regular cat, that chance is like 1 in 3 almost. So when the rat is killed, it drops a random spice, as I said, and the doses range from 1 to 4. The better way to get spices, in my opinion, it's probably a million times more bearable as long as you have a cat, not a kitten, is to kill the hell rat behemoths. To do this, you need a kitten or a cat. A cat is what I recommended, as I just said like 5 times. And you also should bring an inventory of fish. Any fish, it doesn't matter what fish, they all actually heal the same amount. So I bring sardines since they're so cheap. It can be cooked or raw. And then the reason why this is so much better than just getting your cat to chase rats is that you actually choose the type of spice that you want. So I've labeled the spices that each behemoth gives on the map right here. So simply you just have to go to the room with the spice that you want, and then you need to kill the behemoth, and you get that spice in 4 doses. It's always 4 dose, which is awesome. Now, killing a hell rat behemoth is basically a mini boss fight for your cat. The hell rats have 15 health, and you have to use fish on your cat. So you use it on the curtain for some reason, not your cat, and then it will heal your cat like 3 or 4 hit points. Also, if you run out of food in your inventory, all you need to do is click to run away from where you are, and then your cat just comes back straight away. It doesn't die, but if it does die during the fight, you actually lose it. It just disappears and you have to go get a new cat. The last thing I'm going to talk about is what the spices are most useful for. The number one use for spices, in my opinion, is boosting for construction. With a 3-dose orange spicy stew, you can boost your construction by +5, and then on top of that, you can use the invisible boost of a crystal saw, and that boosts your level to +8, which means you can pretty much max your house out with level 83 construction, and that gets you all the way to 91 with the boost. Another great use for spices is for things like diaries. For example, you have to craft double nature runes to complete the elite Karumja diary, and you need level 91 rune crafting to do that. With the spicy stew, you only need level 86 rune crafting, which would save you a ton of time. Another example is the wilderness tasks. You need to mine a runite ore, which requires 85 smithing. The dragon pickaxe special attack boosts your mining by 3, but then the brown stews in a spicy stew can boost it by +5, which saves a ton of time when you're mining. Same with smithing for the elite diary tasks. You need level 90 smithing to make a rune scimitar for the wieldy elites, and the max boost is a mature dwarven stout, and that only gives +2. You can boost all the way from 85 to 90 with an orange spicy stew. Anyways guys, thanks for watching today's video. Now it's time for clip of the day. So Zazari here went to kill Skatizo with his full totem for the first ever time, and he managed to get a hard clue, an elite clue, and the Skatizo pet Skotos after his first Skatizo kill ever. What? Anyways guys, thanks for watching today's video. If you learned something today, be sure to leave a like. Also subscribe if you're new, and as always, thanks for watching and have a nice day.